Yo, what's going on? I am Four Corners, and this is Live Actually. I have a very special guest coming through the loft today. He's been making waves online, building a massive fan base, and now he's ready to take over the world.
And we're live.
And we're live. I am here in the loft with the one and only, the Wizard of Oz himself, Oliver Cronin. What's up, brother?
What's up? What's up? It's so good to be here, man.
Yeah, welcome back to the Six. I know you've been here.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
just about a year ago.
Yeah.
That was your first time here coming as an artist.
Yes.
But you've been here before because you have family here.
Yeah. I've been I was trying to remember how many. I think I've only been here once. That's dope. That's a dope ringtone.
Star Wars.
Yeah, I have family in my uncle moved here from England a while ago and started a family in Ottawa.
Okay.
So I believe. I mean, I know they're in Ottawa now. I don't know if that's where they started, but yeah. So I've been to Ottawa and then I have cousins here as well. So yeah, I've been here a few times and being here for music is a different beast.
Absolutely.
And it's great. I was so heavily inspired by the Toronto scene coming up, and so it's a cool moment to be here.
Yeah, I heard you were a Drake fan, a Weeknd fan.
Yeah, I mean I love the whole scene.
But
yeah, of course. Like Roy Woods, massive fan. You know, I like Always Never, like 88 Glam, all that sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, I was deep in it. Yeah.
You're deep in the Toronto scene.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Have you met anyone?
I mean, I met people. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, any of.
Yeah, no.
I feel like you've met some humans. There are.
I met a few people here.
Have you met any of those artists that you've been?
I haven't.
Okay, we'll have to arrange.
We'll have to arrange that.
We'll have to fix that up.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
And you did not get a chance to see family. I know how that is.
I know. Yeah. I feel kind of bad about it too. But I mean, yeah, I've been just so in and out and so busy, and yeah, I want to come back for a good chunk of time next time and be able to, there's also so many other people to link up with that I haven't yet. So yeah, I love it here.
And just to enjoy the city and check things out.
Yeah, I feel like every time we're overseas doing work and stuff like that, I never actually get to do touristy stuff and actually just like enjoy the city. We're just so on the move, and even days where we do have a day off, I kind of feel like bad for having a day off, and I'm like, nah, I want to work, I want to go in the studio or something. So yeah, I think next trip we do, I want to make a concerted effort to just like have a bit of time and enjoy, the places we, travel in the world. It's fucking sick.
Absolutely.
I want to be able to, enjoy it and see.
You know what? I have some advice for you on that as a world traveler. I've toured the world as a DJ for years and years. And when I first started, I was like, let's pack in as many dates as possible. Let's just get this money. Let's do this thing. Let's work. Let's link up with everybody. As the years have gone on, I've realized, that's not the way to do it. It's a privilege to be able to travel the world and see all these places and meet all these people on other people's dime.
Yes.
Like, you're not going on vacation.
Yeah. That's a fact.
This is work. You're actually doing this for work. It's such a missed opportunity if you don't check out the places that you actually visit.
Yeah, we were talking about, me and my manager were talking about it yesterday actually, and we we're like, when we're doing this and going, touring and playing, back-to-back shows and stuff, we need to make sure we put in stops where we have days off at a time, so we can, because we're not doing shows that much right now. Right now it's like PR stuff and linking up with people doing stuff like this, and even that in itself is draining. And we wake up at we go to bed at 4 a.m. and we're waking up at 10 a.m. We're like, bro, this is not sustainable. So when we do it for real and do the tours and stuff, we're gonna definitely put in stops and be able to enjoy where we're going, as you said, on other people's dimes too.
I agree, exactly. That's
That's
part.
the big one.
That part. And one thing that you definitely have to do when you are moving around the world: food.
Yes,
I'm a food guy. Are you a food guy?
I am, and we're going to Germany next, and I really want to suss the best spots in Germany. If you have any recommendations,
where in Germany are you going?
Berlin, and I think we're spending a day in Frankfurt.
Okay, 2 good stops.
And maybe Hamburg. I don't know exactly.
3 good stops.
Yeah.
I got recommendations for you. Absolutely. Berlin is actually my favorite city in Germany.
It's everyone's favorite city everywhere.
So dope.
Yeah, everyone's like, I'm so excited. I've never been.
But last year, I was on tour with Connor Price, who you know.
Yep.
Have you guys met in person, by the way?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I was on tour with Connor. We stopped in Berlin. And I'd been to Berlin a few times before, but always on the west side of where the Berlin Wall was.
Yep.
So like the more Western type of vibe.
Yeah.
This time the venue was on the east side.
Okay.
And I swear it felt like a time warp.
Really?
It felt like
it's that
Cold War.
Really?
Like, I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't around for that, but it felt like Like, did the wall even come down? Like,
Damn.
it felt very communist. It felt very cold.
Wow, that's interesting.
It was. And then I took a walk. And the closer I got to where the wall was, the more warm and then
wow,
inviting
I didn't
it
even realize
felt.
that was still a
It's
like,
still a thing. They
wow,
actually are
that's
very
crazy.
much. So
Wow.
what I'm saying is don't go that side for
Okay. Okay, I'll keep that in
west
mind.
of the wall and get
Hopefully we're
yourself
staying in the west of the wall.
get yourself some currywurst.
Okay.
It's
Okay. What was that?
It's a I'm gonna say pause in advance. It's a
Alright.
sausage.
That's all right. It's a glizzy.
It's a glizzy, but it's a German glizzy. Pause. No Diddy on the glizzy. But it is very good.
Okay. Done.
And it's a very
Is that like, because we were trying to think, like, what is like German cuisine other than glizzies?
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's also schnitzel.
That's right. Schnitzel. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And that's, you can get some good schnitzel
Okay,
in like
okay.
Frankfurt.
Okay. Done.
My favorite schnitzel actually is in Vienna, Austria.
Shit. No way.
But Germans don't
Next
like when
time.
I say that. Anyway, what you've had some food around here. Like what Toronto's a great food city. What have you eaten here that you loved?
Shit. I don't even know what I've eaten here. We haven't been eating that much. Shit.
You're missing out,
Oh,
bro.
no.
What?
Chubby's, dude. That place. Yo.
Omar.
Yeah.
My manager Omar.
Yeah.
Always takes people to Chubby's.
Yeah.
And I'm
So-
kind of cheesed that I didn't get called
Yeah.
to go to Chubby's
the
this
fuck
time.
you doing,
because
Omar?
Anytime you go to Chubby's, I don't care if it's like whatever day it is,
Hey,
even if you know I'm sleeping, even if I'm out of town, link me and just ask if I'm down.
So last time I was here for the first time doing the music stuff, I met Omar for the first time, and he took me to Chubby's, and it was the first time I've ever had Jamaican food, like authentic.
wow.
Yeah, first time ever, and I was blown the fuck away.
Yeah,
and so I
it's
can
amazing.
Like, since then, every day I'm like, I can't wait to go back to Toronto and go to Chubby's. And so like,
feel
yeah,
that.
it's great doing all this, but you know, I was really here for the Chubby's.
I feel
and
that.
we went there a couple nights ago, and it was incredible.
Do you have
Love it.
plantain?
Yes.
That is the
A
greatest
jerk chicken
plantain on the
Earth.
planet.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only plantain I've actually had, but,
So-
but I presume it's the best. It tasted fucking good.
No, it's very
jerk
good.
chicken, rice and peas. What was that? Fish, ackee and saltfish.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Shout out to homie Shannon at Chubby's. That's one of my favorite spots.
that was great. And then we went to this dope Italian place last night, Gusto's.
Oh, Gusto's good.
Yeah,
Gusto was very
yeah.
good.
Yeah, so we've been eating good. I don't know what I've been talking about. Yeah, we've been eating
Yeah,
good.
how dare you? We're like, we haven't eaten. Oh, actually, we went to all the best
Yeah,
spots.
we went to all the spots. Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. I put on my story like, oh, where's the best spots to eat in Toronto? Just see what people said. And like 3 people say McDonald's.
I'm offended.
Yeah, I'm like,
What? Who are
bro,
they?
Who's going to Toronto and going to McDonald's?
We don't claim
bro?
them. I don't know who those people are. They're
I
not
was
even
like,
from
yo,
here, bro.
chill.
They're not from
no.
here. Amazing. So there's like no. I never thought about that. There's no Jamaican restaurants that you know of.
Not that I
in
know
Australia.
of.
There's got to be some.
It's pretty far away from Jamaica.
Yeah, there's Jamaicans everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Is there any? There's a couple. I don't know.
They're probably
Probably
they might not be that
in Melbourne.
authentic.
Melbourne's I feel like where most of the multiculturalism is
Got
in
you.
Australia, more so than Sydney. I think, especially with the restaurants and stuff like that.
Got you. And you're from a smaller town, right?
I'm from a small town. I live in Sydney now, though. So
Okay, cool.
So I'm amongst it, but I haven't come across a Jamaican
All right,
spot.
when
But
you go-
I'm looking. I'm gonna go back and I'm like, yo, I need to find the Australian chubbies. Even if I have to go to Perth for it, I'm
That
going.
sounds like an oxymoron, but when you go back, I want you to sample it and then let me know
Yes.
which was better.
Yeah,
I feel like Chubby's is going to win.
Chubby's is probably
I feel like
gonna
Chubby's is
win,
going to win. Well, we'll see.
But we'll try it. We'll do it.
Okay, so you're living in Sydney now.
Yep.
But you're traveling the world.
Yes.
You are on this promo tour that's taking you here to Toronto.
Yes.
And some other places that you're about to hit. Germany is one of them.
Yep.
Where were you most excited to go? Outside of Toronto, of course.
Yeah, of
Where
course.
are you most excited to go that maybe you haven't been yet?
Well, Berlin, to be
Okay.
honest, Germany. I've been to Europe a bunch with family and with my girl, traveling, all this sort of stuff.
Have you been as an artist yet?
I've never been as an artist,
Exciting.
and I've never been to Germany. I've
Okay.
been to a lot of Europe, a lot of the rest of Europe, but never Germany. I've heard so many things about Germany, so I've been wanting to go to Germany for years because I had a song that went really. I've had a couple songs do really well in Germany. So like in 2022, it was like number 9 in Germany. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
been trying to go out there ever since that, and we just haven't been able to go. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited for that.
So you're gonna love Germany. It is especially Berlin. It's such a creative art city.
So I've heard. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna survive, but I've heard that the nightlife's pretty hectic over there.
It is. There's this one legendary club I'm sure you've heard of. Yeah. I've never been.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're trying to go. You're gonna have to go buy an outfit.
I don't know. Yeah.
And hope that dude at the
door.
Well,
don't you like line up and they don't really care what like? It's just random, right?
It's not random. There's this one dude. I can't remember his name. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
This one dude that is the doorman.
Okay.
He is the final word. He decides who gets in and who doesn't.
But what I've heard is that he doesn't like. You don't have to necessarily dress like you're a fucking superstar or have followers or whatever. Like,
no,
he just kind of like
he selects based on what his criteria of do you look like the vibes, yes or no.
Yeah, which I fuck with that. Cause you know how a lot of clubs like do you look like you're famous or
no. It's not about status. It's about do you look like the vibes, yes or no.
Which is great. That's why I presume the vibes there are just fucking sick, right?
Yeah. And there's like no phones allowed and all that stuff.
It's epic.
I want to know what happens in there. I haven't gone yet. We'll see. In due time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've had music pop off, obviously with social media, with Spotify and all that. You can see where your music is popping and how long it's been popping. Yeah. I've heard you joke about in the near future, people are going to start calling you an industry plant because it seems like, it feels like, I mean, you were just here less than a year ago.
Yeah.
This past year of your life has been incredible.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened.
Yeah.
You already signed to Warner Australia, but now you've signed with Warner US. Yeah. Your music is reaching places all around the world, such as Germany and others. Mm-hmm. What's it been like, man? How does it feel currently in your life, and how much has your life changed in this past year?
I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's always been fun. It's weird because I don't feel like my life's. I mean, it's changed because I'm doing all this, which is so super fun and some stuff I dreamed about doing. But at the same time, like, I know I'm still in my room making music every day, making content. That's like what I've been doing for my whole life. Well, for the last like 4 or 5 years. Right. So in that sense, nothing's changed. But the rewards, I'm starting to reap the rewards of it. You know, I've worked hard for a long time. So finally, I've been able to see some, be able to travel the world and do podcasts and, meet up with my favorite artists. So that's really eat chubbies. Yeah.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
That's what it's been about all this
exactly
time.
What it's been about. So yeah, I mean, it's a blessing. But at the same time, it's like, I'm still just, grinding away and doing my thing. And yeah.
I like that. Stay grounded, stay humble.
Yeah. I hope I do, yeah.
No, but while knowing that you are actually making impact, you're doing incredible things.
It's very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. And evidence of you making that impact, you just did your first headlining tour.
That was crazy.
How different was that than opening for Nessa?
It was a lot scarier, to be honest, because... Okay. I mean, the Nessa tour was in December. It was my first ever tour, so I was very like I didn't know what to expect my first ever tour. But there was a bit of like less pressure because I know new people. I needed to win the crowd over, but at the same time, if I fucked up, they were there to see Nessa, so they were gonna have a good night. Fair. Either way.
You had done shows before that though,
like a couple.
Really?
Yeah. Not like here and there.
When would you say, if you can remember, was your like first actual show?
I know exactly what my first actual show was. Probably, I think it was 3.5, 4 years ago.
Okay.
With my best mate Mason, and we did a joint kind of headline. It was like a upstairs of a dingy pub. There was like, it was a tiny room. It was probably like 50 capacity, but we probably got like 100 people there.
Okay. Dope.
And
jammed.
I was making more rap stuff then.
Right.
So it was like a very
Toronto
like
vibes.
Yeah, it was very like it was very rap like DJ. I don't know, and it was fun as fuck. We almost caved in the floor. There was people going downstairs and filming the roof, and you could see like people jumping and the floor was bending. So it was a great night.
If you put 100 people in a 50 cap room, it's gonna make some
dingy part. I'm telling you, like this
do some damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it almost did. They was like, no, you got to stop. We were like, no, fuck this. But that was my first show, and then I didn't do a show for like 2 years after that.
Okay. Why not?
I was kind of, honestly, like, that was kind of the start of a little bit of a, like, identity crisis for me, because I was like, I didn't really want to do this rap stuff, and I was going under a different name back then, and my team was totally different, and I kind of didn't know what was what I was doing and why I was doing it, and
I get that.
went through it a little bit, but off the back of that, I took like a year off to just like clear my head and figure out what I wanted to do with music and who I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. And off the back of that, I changed my name to Oliver Cronin. I mean, my name is Oliver Asher Cronin. I went on to Asher, my middle name, so I didn't change my name.
Yeah, you just
I rebranded myself and came back with a lot more clarity. So, yeah, I didn't do a show for a while, and then the next show I did actually was the halftime show at the NBL Grand Final.
That.
Yeah,
I saw that.
So it was like 3 years later I did it. Yeah, like a 20,000, like a little arena show, which was crazy. And that kind of threw me into the deep end in front of big crowds.
Mm-hmm.
So once I did that, and I feel like I did a great job, it kind of gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I can perform in front of a lot of people now. So
okay. And then
I did the
Nessa tour was that. It was some big rooms.
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was
getting
so
back
fun.
out there.
It was so fun. I mean, that was like once that was over, I'm like, okay, I can see myself doing this a lot more.
Yeah.
It was so fun, and that tour in particular, I kind of gained a whole fan base off that. I mean, I definitely had fans before that, but her fans really gravitated towards me. It was the perfect opening support I could do. She was great. I heard a lot of things about opening for people. I'm like, oh, hopefully, hopefully this one's all right. But it was great. She was so accommodating. Her whole team were great, and her fans were incredible. And off the back of that, I did my own tour, and a lot of them came from the Nessa tour, which was I didn't know what to expect. I never done my own tour, and as you were asking how it compares to the Nessa one, it was a lot more nerve wracking because everyone was there to see me, and I'm like, I can't, I got to really put on the show. I'm the headliner now. But it was so incredible to see the turnout, and everyone bought merch. We sold out we had to reprint after the first city. Hey. It was incredible, and I need to do it again.
That's what's up. Well, you know what? That's pretty much the objective of opening for somebody is to get in front of people that maybe don't know you, probably don't know you, and win them over and bring them into your tribe.
Yeah, and which I feel like that happened, and I was now I'm like, I don't want to do another opening support again because that was like the perfect situation. I don't want it to taint my image of support.
That can, you know what? It can really go either way. Number one, it's important that who you're opening for, your music and brands are in alignment so that their fans will actually care about you if you get out there and do a great job versus something that's just like, why is this person opening for this person? Yeah,
and I think also the fact that it was very organic and it wasn't like, sometimes the label will put something on. Or
okay, do you know her personally already?
Yeah, and so I did a remix of her song, and she saw it and
that was how you originally linked up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
and
okay.
She put it on her story and followed me, and so her fans already had a little idea of who I was, and people commenting like, oh, surely you open for her. And this time, at this point, I didn't know I was going to open for her.
Right.
And then she's on the same label, so the label saw that she was coming to Australia, and they reached out, and she's like, oh my God, I didn't even know you were Australian. Perfect. So it was very organic in that sense. And so when I started the tour, she was putting me on her story, and I think her fans saw that connection, were like, oh, this is not just someone who's been put in front of us for just being forced. This is her actually fucking with him publicly, and if they like her, they like me. So
that's dope.
Yeah, it was great.
Socials are so powerful.
So nowadays. Powerful.
So
wouldn't be
powerful.
Here without it.
Facts. And you know what? I really like the way that you use your socials. I feel like, I mean, this is the first time meeting you in person, but we've been following each other for a while. Yeah. I feel like I kind of know you already by the way that you do things.
Yeah. Likewise. That's this great thing about social media. I was like, I've been in this place before.
I know, right? And you've really like harnessed the different platforms in different ways.
Right.
Like the lives.
Yes.
Building music on live.
Yes.
Your broadcast channel on Instagram and how you communicate with people and let them know, what's up on a daily basis. The tour vlogs was really cool to see, especially the non-music stuff. Because the tour is like, okay, cool, we want to see the actual footage from the show, of course. That's standard. But getting to see the BTS of tour life, because people who are not artists, they don't know what that is.
100%.
They just assume everything is a certain thing, and that's probably from seeing, I don't know, J-Lo.
But you're seeing the highlights too, like that's and when I'm just kind of doing what I was inspired by and what I loved growing up and getting into music. Like the thing with the lives is a big influence for me was Tory Lanez going live on Twitch and making songs from scratch.
Incredible.
That changed my life. I was watching that and I'm like, oh shit, like this is really how it can be done. Like people do this.
Yeah.
And that changed my life. And I'm like, if I can do the same thing for other people, awesome. So that's why I started going TikTok live. And the tour vlogs, I used to love watching tour vlogs from artists. That was like my favorite thing. I used to try and find any artist, big or small, who've had a tour vlog, and I'd watch it because I'm like, this looks so cool.
Yeah. Well, I heard you're a big fan of Mike Stud.
Yeah.
That's his whole
thing. His whole thing.
I found him on YouTube years ago.
Doing the
just being like, yo, who's this guy that I never heard of doing these rooms with people raging like this?
Yes.
And I looked into it and I was like, oh, wow. And I started following from that.
Yeah, I love that. Mike influenced so much of my music. Yeah. It's great. But yeah, that's I'm kind of just, I'm not necessarily following a blueprint of other people, but I am, you know, doing what I enjoy to watch. And, you know, if I enjoy it, I know some other people are going to enjoy it.
Well, it definitely comes off like you enjoy it. It doesn't feel forced or the labels maybe. I hate when artists be like, oh man, the label's making me do this. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah.
You get a chance to reach a lot of people potentially, sharing the thing that you're supposed to care about.
Yes.
That should be fun for you.
Yes.
But you got to make it fun. I do understand. Like,
100%.
You can't do things that are not out the way that you would want to do.
Of course. And there was definitely a time where I wasn't enjoying it. And
why is that?
I wasn't really making the content that I wanted to make, I think. That was the content part I really didn't enjoy for a good like 6-month period. And then I stopped doing it. And which I think was actually good. I mean, it didn't help, numbers tanked, but it was good because I was like, I want to come back and do something that I enjoy and not. I think I got too wrapped up in numbers. I think it's very easy to do that and comparisons.
That is the worst thing.
That
the thief of joy
it for me. Yeah,
they say.
And you know, I was like every video I was posting, and like the thing with TikTok especially is like the whole thing is up and down. That's how the whole thing works. And I knew that, but at the same time I was so caught up in it, and like it was the lives and things going viral. I was gaining so many followers so quickly, and it was like one day if I didn't get like 1,000 followers, it's like fuck. Like I'm looking back and I'm like, come on, like yeah, you're only human. You can't like
exactly. Plus, that's beyond our control.
Exactly. Like, and then I figured that out, and I was like, you know, if I'm having fun and I'm enjoying it and making content and making the music I like, the content I like, then the energy translates, and other people will enjoy that too. So I had a bit of time off to be like, no, I'm just going to come back and just do everything that I love. Yeah. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
And that's the best way. Not just online, but I feel like in life.
In life.
If you are yourself all the way, 100% unapologetically yourself, you will attract people who actually like you, not like the person that you're pretending to be.
100%.
That shit's exhausting.
Yes. Yeah. No, it took a long time for me to figure that out. And ever since I figured it out, life's changed.
I love it. I love it. And the way that you've been, you know, you mentioned the remixing one of Nessa's songs, and you did Rust, and you've done a whole...
Yeah, that was a big part of that. I came back and I was like, I actually love making remixes.
Yeah, that's been a big thing that snowballed for you. And then now you got into starting to collaborate with artists. Like obviously you work with Mason as your best friend. But you collaborated with a couple Canadians.
Yes.
My dude, Connor Price.
Yes. Yeah.
My dude, Lum.
Yep.
How do you go about deciding who do you collab with?
I mean, if I fuck with your music, then
it's just literally that.
Pretty much, yeah. The Connor one was crazy because I mean, I, like everyone seen his content everywhere, and especially the Spin the Globes. Like that was, you know, that was the biggest thing on the internet for a long time. And when his wife reached out to me, asking if I wanted to be spinning, I was like, tripping out. I was like, yo, no
so
fucking way.
Brianna reached out out of the blue. You just got an email, a DM?
I saw he started following me. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like fuck Connor. But I never want to push for like collabs. I always want it to come organically. Like if someone cool follows me or something, I'm never gonna ask for a collab. I want to build relationships with people first, and then I saw Brianna started following me. I'm like, I told my manager, I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on here. And then she reached out and said, I don't know if you've heard of the Spin the Globe things we do. I'm like, yeah,
it might
have crossed my mind. And yeah, I mean, and she was great. It was such a easy process, and I was ready for it. I was ready, and she's like, oh, send me a song, and she's like, I don't know if you're gonna like fuck with it. Like, if this is okay, we can do another. I'm like, this is the most fire shit I ever heard. It was a banger. Yeah, I wrote my verse in like 2 hours, and then that was a crazy. That was great. That was an incredible moment. Yeah.
And how did the Lum one come about?
When I came here for the first time, the label kept on telling me like, this kid Lum, you need to link up with him. I'm like, who's this Lum kid, bro?
Okay.
I was looking him up. I'm like, yo, this dude looks cool as fuck. I want to suss him out. And we linked up, and he was such a genuine dude, so down to earth. His tone, his voice is crazy. And linked up in the studio and wrote that. And I didn't know what was going to happen with it. We just wrote it and moved on, and then got it finished, and now it's in the world.
It's in the world.
It's
in the universe.
In the universe, yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked this before, but I got to ask while we're talking about collabs,
right.
Who's the dream collab? Like, if you could leave here right now, go to the studio with anybody in the world, who would it be?
Justin, for sure. Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a couple though, like it's interesting, like Justin, like for obvious reasons. I mean, it's Justin Bieber, and
you don't have to explain why you would want to collab with Justin Bieber. That. He's dope as fuck.
But Mike is one too. Like, obviously influencing my music. Yeah. Like I like he's influenced so much of my early music, so that's a big dream for mine as well. Dope. All Chase Atlantic, I love Chase Atlantic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. I like it. Your
I don't
music.
I don't know if they fuck with me though. I've done so many remixes of this shit. I'm like,
you know what though? Keep doing it, and if it's meant to be, it will. If not, then not. You just be a fan.
Yeah.
But the collabs, cool. Remixes, cool.
Yeah.
You got an album
yes.
dropping.
Yes.
Your debut album.
Yes.
I got a chance to hear it, and I love it. I don't bullshit. I don't blow smoke.
Thank you.
And what I loved about it is that you stayed true to what it is that's popping for you, but also you tried some other stuff.
Yeah.
I heard a little UK garage on there. Yeah. I heard a little Jersey club influence on there.
Yeah.
There's some rap influence in there still, but then also the synth pop.
Yes.
Like the new single, Burning House.
Yeah.
That shit is, and I've had like mixed feelings about people doing 80s inspired synth pop because it became a wave and everybody started jumping on it. But there's always a way to do things authentically.
Correct.
There's jumping on somebody's, okay, this is hot, so let's run that way. Yep. And there's, this feels good to me, I want to do that. Yes. The song really felt like that to me. It felt like the latter. It's like, you actually fuck with this sound, this style. Yeah. And you did it with your whole heart.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's the big theme of this album is I'm influenced by a lot of different styles and genres and people, and I'm quite ADD when it comes to music. I can't make the same thing twice. I get bored. So I'm doing everything, and one day I'll make a rap song, I'll make a dance song, I'll make a folk song, whatever.
I feel you 1,000,000% on that. That's exactly how I make music.
So making this album, I was like, I want to make a pop record, but I want to bring in, influences from all these different styles and genres, but have the underlying factor that's a pop record, but, do something that I think where it will make it sit in a world that I feel not many other people sit in. And that was a big goal of mine, to kind of pick a laneway that no one else is kind of going down. And
stand out.
I think we kind of nailed it for this record. And I think the reason why it sounds slightly different than the stuff I've been doing is because it's the first time I really locked in with like writers and producers before. Coming from Australia, and I started making music on my own in my room. Self-produced, self-mixed, everything. Right. So I was never used to collabs, for one, but working with different writers, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, give people help writing a song for you and produce in the room. I'm like, this is epic. So I went to LA. My guy Skimmy, executive producing the project, he brought in not too many because we wanted to keep it small and, a tight circle of people working on the project. So, didn't want too many chefs in the kitchen, but brought in all the right people. And it was the first time I really locked in for like a month working with different people. And the art of collaboration is so strong. And I think that's what comes out in this, is this project. It kind of brought out a different sound out of me a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like it's interesting that that's the story of how it came together, because it feels like growth to me.
Yes.
It feels like you're still very much you.
Yeah.
But it feels like there's sort of some like growth. I can't think of a better word than growth.
Well, it really is. And it's like I've spent so long making music on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I got to hear making music on my own, and then working with, you know, some incredible, like one of the, Trinidad James wrote a couple of songs on the project.
Really?
Yeah. And that, I mean, I fuck with Trinidad for ages.
Forever, ever. Gold all in my chain.
Right? So
Amazing.
Working with people like that, like, you know, I was here writing on my own, and then working people like that kind of brought this out of me. And that's what I think the best part of the project is.
Collaboration is very, very important. It's so key. It's like the, no pun intended, the cornerstone of what I do is collaboration, because I can only come up with my own ideas, and I know my ideas are great. I have full confidence in what I can create, but you can never create the same thing that you could with two people working on it, or three people. It's like different. Everybody brings their own thing. Plus, collaboratively, you're just going to come up with ideas that, like, individually none of you might have come up with.
Yes. And I think, the biggest thing for me too is, like, whenever I get stuck and I'm on my own, I'm stuck. Mm-hmm. If I get stuck on a lyric or a melody or something, and I'm with someone else,
that might be it for the day.
But if I'm with someone else, it can bring it out.
Yeah.
And then that just keeps keeps moving, and that's the biggest thing for me. I'm like, having someone else's input into something, and bring out a different sound, because working with with yourself for so long, you can kind of start getting stuck doing similar stuff. Yeah. And working with someone who's produced different songs or written different songs for all these other people, bringing a different side of it, and they can hear, like when I work with Trinidad, he was like, what I hear is incredible, but what I think you can do with your voice is this. And I was like, I didn't even think this.
And he pushed you to
try some new things. And, the Jersey one was one of his that we wrote together.
I think that's my favorite, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's Jersey, but it's not so hard. It's
different.
Yeah.
It's and when we wrote it too, I mean, you don't know what we're talking about, the people, but
you will.
You'll hear it. When we wrote it too, it was no one really done pop Jersey before. We're like, we want to put a Jersey song on the record, but we want to make it pop and want to make it different. Now, this was like 18 months ago now.
Yeah.
So since then,
there has been
some stuff, but just know that we did it 18 months ago. We're not jumping on a wave. Just know. But yeah, we wanted to do something new and fresh, and I think. And that's the art of collaboration. I would never have done that on my own.
Yeah, I mean, that should always be the goal, to do something new and fresh. It's not really, there is something to be said about continuing to feed your fans with what they love you for, but you can't make the same song forever.
Correct.
Because me personally, when I love an artist and I love their sound, 3 years from now, if they're still making those songs, I'm off that.
You need to grow.
I'm off that.
Yeah.
I can listen to your old shit. Like, give me something new.
Yes, I agree.
Dope. So I'm happy and excited that this project's coming out. It's going to be an international push.
Yes.
It's going to be a big one, I think. I think it's going to make some impact.
Thank you. I hope so.
I feel like you are, even just the journey to this point, you got to be influencing artists out of Australia, looking at you saying, yo, this guy is in his bedroom and now look what he's doing.
Yeah. I hope so. I think that's definitely happening, and that's like such an important thing for me, and that's why I do a lot of it. Like I as I said, the reason I started going live is because how influenced I was from seeing Tori do that, and I was like, if I can do this for the next generation, that means so much to me, and that's like a really big part of what I do and why I do it, because things like that changed my life, and having a passion this strong is. I think everyone should have that. It's such a healthy and such a exciting thing. And if I can foster that passion out of certain people, then job done.
I'm a believer in that too. People got to find their thing.
Yes.
And I think that what you're doing can inspire people who are not even necessarily going into music. Yeah. They just can see you being just so passionate about what you care about and following your dream and going full on.
Yes.
And hopefully that can inspire them to be like, you know, I really love painting, or I really love,
Yeah.
you know, I want to be a doctor, but I'm going to go for it. I wasn't going to. I was afraid, but
that's
Oliver's doing it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, and I think I'm a massive believer of you can do anything you want in life if you believe and put your passion, your heart into it, and
Likewise.
never give up. I mean, I left school when I was like 17.
For music?
For music, and I was trash back then too. Look, I was like, "Yo, mom and dad, how you let me leave school when my music sounded like that?"
Well, hold on, because your mom is in music, right?
Yeah.
And she heard what you were doing and still said,
I think she saw my passion for it.
okay.
And I mean, I definitely didn't like drop out with like nothing. Like I started having a little interest from labels, and I'm like, look, this is the interest that I'm having now. And
When you know that your music is not that
making music
good.
for like a year or 2 years, and
Okay.
this is what's happening. I'm spending 8 hours a day at school. If I spend 8 hours a day making music, then I know for a fact I'll get way better quickly.
You're not wrong.
And that's what ended up happening. And it's the best decision I ever made. But at the time, I was like, looking back at it, I'm like, dude, my shit was bad. But
You know
that goes back to the thing where you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it. And really, I don't, advise everyone drop out of school and do what you want right now. But at the same time, I had a vision and a goal, and I knew that if I put everything towards it, it would happen, and it's happening.
And it's also not a bad thing to have supportive parents, so that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they've been so supportive. I mean, it helps that my mom's a musician because she gets it.
Yeah.
And she sees it. And my dad's an author as well, so he.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Also creative.
Yeah. So grew up very creative.
I feel that. My dad was a musician, and then he was a chef.
Fire.
So very creative.
So you a good chef? Can you cook?
Oh, I can cook.
Yeah.
I can throw down.
Fire.
And my mom she just went to school and went to work. So when I told them that I was going into music, I got heavy support from my dad and heavy concern from my mom.
Yeah.
She was just like, I know she was supportive, but also very afraid that I wouldn't be able to feed myself.
Yeah. My dad was a little similar as well. He was creative, but at the same time, he was quite old school. He's completely come around to it now.
Yeah.
But he was like, very like university and like the traditional paths. And once I kind of showed him that these days, I'm not gonna go into that, but like I feel like you don't need to necessarily do that to make a living and these days you can make money and live in doing whatever you want as long as you do it and put your whole heart and soul.
And that's always been true, but it's even more true with the internet.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of things.
So once I think I got his head around that, then he came along and
he starts seeing some of what feels like success to him.
Yeah,
it can be understood in his old school mentality.
Yeah, and now they're super supportive, and it's I would not have been able to do this without them.
Dope.
So
thanks,
mom and dad.
Thank you, mom and dad, always. I have one more question for you, and it's right in line with that. What does success mean to you?
I mean, a lot of different things. I mean, right now, especially in the future, I just want to be able to do what I love every day and have a nice family. And, I'm getting married next year.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
You already have a date set?
No, I hope it's next year. Fingers crossed. Planning a wedding is a
that's a whole thing.
But I want to be able to wake up every day and make music and have a family and inspire people. And, obviously I want to sell out arenas and win Grammys and stuff like that. But that used to be the forefront, and now it's not. Now it's, it's all the accolades and everything that comes with it for me is a byproduct, and that if that happens, amazing. But if I can just wake up and make music every day and be as happy as I possibly can, then that's what matters. Because early on I was chasing fame and I was chasing, money and all this sort of stuff, and that didn't make me happy. And now I've realized that happiness is I just want to be happy. That's success. I don't have to be rich. I don't have to be famous. If I am rich and famous, dope. But first and foremost, I just want to be happy and do what I love every day.
Well, my friend, I think you got it right, because being rich and famous and not happy is
Sucks.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Yep.
There are plenty of people that have that right now
Thanks.
that are not having a good time.
Yes.
So I'm very, very happy to hear you say that, especially at your age.
Thanks.
You are on the right path, and I wish you the most success.
Thank you so much.
Much
I
love for
appreciate
coming
it.
through,
This was
brother.
so fun. Thank you. My guy.
Love.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Live Actually. Meet me here every Wednesday for a brand new episode. And if you want to tap in directly, hit me on my website, fourcorners.com. Big love, and I'll see you next week.